friends. Let's start the meditation with divine guidance from Brahmarshi Pitama Patriji, Mahatar Babaji Ramta Master, and our humble pranams to all the other teachers, masters and guides who are here with us. Let's start the meditation with divine guidance from Brahmarshi Pitama Patriji. So let's connect to that energies and start this beautiful class. Starting with the meditation first. Let's sit in a very comfortable position. Remove your spectacles, clasp your hands, cross your legs. Let's start with the relaxation. At the out breath, focus on each part of the body and relax the body part. If you release the breath, that part becomes relaxed. My forehead is relaxed. Neck is relaxed. Shoulders are relaxed. Upper back and lower back are relaxed. Chest and stomach are relaxed. My hips are relaxed. Hands are completely relaxed on my lap. My thighs, calf, feet and sole, everything is beautifully relaxed and relaxed and relaxed. My eyes are relaxed. Jaws are relaxed. Ears are relaxed. Chin and lips are relaxed. Fingers, nails, toes are relaxed. All my internal organs are completely relaxed. My face is relaxed. Throat and shoulders are relaxed and relaxed and relaxed. Upper back and lower back are relaxed. Chest and abdomen is relaxed. Hip region relaxed. Thighs, calf muscles, knees, feet, ankle. Everything is completely relaxed and relaxed and relaxed. Continue with the relaxation process and move over to the Anapanasati meditation. The more you relax your body, the better will be the meditation. Observe your breath. Don't focus and concentrate. Don't make this an activity. It's just an art of seeing what is already there. Breathing is your natural state. and we are just observing that natural state. When you observe, you might find that perhaps you are controlling it. That is exactly why we need to relax the body. When the body is relaxed, the breathing becomes so much more natural. And it's easy to observe that breath. Continue to relax and then continue with the Anapanasati meditation for the next 25 minutes. Hello, masters. Slowly keep your palms on your eyes at the count of 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The beautiful smile. Please come back. Welcome to day 23 of today's class. I'm just seeing if we have any open questions. I think Shamala had one question. Yesterday we discussed that trees, animals are in 5D and take a 3D form to contribute to Earth's ascension. Am I audible? Yeah, okay. Earth's ascension. These higher frequency beings journeys should not be cut short by killing them. Does it mean that even greens, nuts, seeds that we consume entirely fall in this category? Then that's why fruits are called karmalas. Is that why fruits are called karmalas? See, the thing is, at some point, animals and plants both are higher dimensional beings with a third dimensional body. So that way, I think eating anything is going to be cruel. But because at some point the frequencies, our frequencies are going to be lower, at that time, certain category of, I have heard that certain category of species have basically contributed as food, because at that point we were not in awareness. So animals were eventually became food, and then over a period of time, plants have become food. Over a period of time, plants will also no longer be our food. Until that time, we are going to be eating plants. And in the process of evolution, like we quit animals, we will also be quitting cooking food. Okay? Cooking food, and then over time eating only raw foods, and then over time eating fruits and all that. It doesn't mean that only eating fruit diet is karmaless. Eating any fruit is also a part of the tree, right? It's also a part of that experience of the tree. So eating any part of the tree is, see, don't think about it as karma, not karma, or something like that. Think about it as, what do you say? You are in that evolutionary path, and then they are helping you to survive. So if you have a consciousness where you don't want to be eating, don't stop eating any food because it's bad. Rather, you are in fear or anything like that. Try to look at it from a point of evolution, right? At this point, these are the foods that are serving me, so I'll be eating that foods with a lot of gratitude. And then over a period of time, I know that in the path of my evolution, I'll eventually quit that and then go ahead. There's a lot of difference between eating a food for desire and eating a food for survival. So if you're eating food for survival, then you will not really have that attachment, because over a period of time, you may not feel like eating a certain food, and then you'll move on. So be grateful for that food and move on. But at the same time, for health reasons, and no, out of fear, if you're quitting something for a certain problem in your body or something like that, we will have fear, right? Sometimes we don't want certain issues to happen in the body, we do that. But if we do that today, at some point in the future, we'll have to be coming back to undo that effect, not by eating the food or something, but in our mind, that block has to be removed, that eating certain food is going to harm me. It's the mental thing that we are talking about. I'm not talking about, let's say you eat a certain food, you don't eat a certain food. It's not like you have to eat a certain food to, basically get over that fear. No, it's not like that. The fear is in your body. The fear is in your mind. Whether you eat or no, you still have to have a good opinion. For example, if you're enjoying eating certain food, then you should also enjoy the fruits or the consequences of that. See, from a high level perspective, there is also this thing that the body has to evolve, isn't it? If the body has to evolve, then who is going to help the body to evolve? What is the meaning of evolution? Okay, now how are you evolving? How body means everything in your body, isn't it? Every cell in your body is evolving. So if every cell in the body is evolving, what does it actually mean? It means that the lower energies inside those cells are going out and the higher energies are coming inside the cell. Or the cell is dying, new cell is growing. So, and even in our life, new bodies are, the HTC is taking new bodies, and then new bodies are, it's taking each time new body for new experience. Similarly, for some portions of our, for its experience, this body, if it has to grow in the part of evolution, it will drop certain cells and it will also grow new cells. And the process of elimination and all of those things is also allowing the body to grow in the process of evolution. Otherwise, how will this body become a light body? So we need to allow even the detox also to go in the same way. Okay, so if you're attracted towards a certain food, if you're eating certain food at some point, instead of being guilty, anyway be grateful for that food. Whatever comes after that in terms of body consequences or something, take that also with the same spirit. Okay, so tagging some food and not eating some food because I'm not going to get karma, I'm going to get karma, that is another story. But at least have a understanding of what do you say, not labeling them in terms of duality. You don't eat, that doesn't matter, but in your mind have a respectful position for people, for those entities who are contributing towards your growth. Okay, so I think the major answer that I'm going to talk about here is today everything that you are going to eat in terms of plants, you are at that level where you will be harming even the plants and eating. But today that is what is available to us. That is what is designed to help us evolve. Tomorrow at some point we may not be eating that also. But if you're eating only fruits, but you have a desire to eat other fruits, there is a lot of pending things, and then in your mind there's a lot of hate towards other foods, you're labeling them as stuff and all of that, then you are going to come back to unlabel all that and then convert all those parts of you to oneness. Because you cannot go to oneness unless all the parts of you, all the ideas of you, all your belief systems get to oneness. That's logical, right? So no food is karma free, no food is karma not free. There, karma means at some point we are creators. Okay, we are not supposed to depend on anything, and we are not supposed to depend on food itself. So in that sense, eating itself will have a payback at some point. And that payback is equal to realization. Realizing that I am this person, and then over time, getting on that path. See, every enlightened master, it doesn't mean that he's going to be a, what do you say, a crystal body kind of person, and then he's not going to eat anything. It may not be like that. He may eat food, but he may not have any attachment to that food. So there are lots of things to this, and then it depends on how much the body is eventually going to be trained. So in each birth, there will be a different path or different plan. In some births, you may plan the food part itself. In some birth, you may do the mental part itself. So everything, there'll be too much of work. So they will split that into multiple bodies, and then they'll do that work. Okay. So as of now, whatever you can eat, please eat. But don't label other foods as bad. Even if you don't eat, that is okay. But have a good opinion, have a respectful opinion, have a oneness kind of position for each food. Because those foods are, even if they help you detox or something like that, at some point you are also contributing towards the evolution of the body. Okay, so don't fear the evolution. Otherwise, how will the body learn? How will the body become a crystal body? Mentally, if you're detoxing your emotions, physically also something has to happen to raise your body, right? So that will happen only through eliminations and detoxes and all of those things. And in some video, Patriji was saying, cancer is also, what do you say? In cancer, okay, he has this concept, told about this concept of balance. Okay, the nature is always in balance. In cancer, you, the mind, okay, you who's associated with the mind is not happy with what is happening in the body, correct? For whatever reason, there is now cancer in the body. It is a planned by the soul for whatever reason, and then now there is a cancer in the body. Now this mind is not happy because there is cancer. There is so much of social belief systems about, okay, I'm going to die, I'm going to do this. So many things are going to happen or whatever. That is, they are unhappy. But he says that the body is very happy with cancer, because body and those cancer cells and all are very happy because they are now getting an opportunity to be somebody different. They are going through some amount of ups and downs in their life. It's not just same thing. They're not just doing the same work that they were doing. Now their nature has changed, and now they are basically evolving from that state. Today or tomorrow, they will evolve from that state. So what he's saying is, it's a festival for that body part. From an evolutionary standpoint, that's a festival for that body part. But from our viewpoint, it is not good. So nature looks at that holistic picture. It will not favor always you and your comforts. It will favor that holistic thing. It will look at a holistic level, whether the body and that whether the body is actually also growing. So he says that the Purusha or the God or the energy, the God particle is also helping the Prakriti also to grow in this path of evolution. And when I heard that, I also thought, okay, how is it that Earth is going to go through evolution? Earth was in her third dimensional state. So how is Earth going to go to evolution? And if we are also contributing all our energies for the Earth to go to 3D, obviously we are also contributing all our energies to go to 5D. Now that means that what is my energy? My energy is my sum total of who I am. It means if I'm having cancer, that is my energy. I'm reflecting a certain energy. If I have this problem, I'm reflecting that energy. If I have anger, I'm reflecting some energy. So whatever I am, whatever problems I'm going to go through, Earth is also basically going to experience that, isn't it? So from her level, when these ups and downs happen with us, and then we recover from those ups and downs, and then we are also giving an opportunity for the body to, and body is a product of the earth. This is earth. Okay, this body is basically earth, and this earth has to go through all that for earth to actually go through all that, her evolutionary path. Unless we go through that process of evolution, we allow the body to go through that process of evolution, earth will not go through that process of evolution. And in this whole big picture, this body is also there. And of course, she has earthquakes, tsunamis, this, that, whatever. She's anyway balancing herself. So somewhere even we are contributing towards Earth's evolution is what I felt today morning when early morning, when I actually listened to this message. I actually felt that, oh yeah, even we are contributing, but we are not aware that we are contributing. Through our evolution, we are also participating and contributing towards the Earth's evolution as well. And we are unaware, but we are doing it. So we'll have to allow the body to go through many of these things. You may not want to consciously go and make yourself fall sick. But if sickness is already with you, be in the state of acceptance, because you are allowing the body to grow. For example, you ate something and after sometimes, let's say, some consequences happened and then you fell sick or whatever. Now it's your time to return to the body whatever it has to go through. You enjoyed, right? Now it's the time for that food that went into the body, when it became the body, and there are ups and downs through the body, let that food also enjoy in some energy. And somehow I felt all of these things, that we are also contributing as a part of the Earth's thing. So in my opinion, I think we cannot be looking at karma as such, because we are in no position to actually look at the karma at that level of detail in terms of plants, eating plants, in my opinion. Over a period of time, maybe we will be able to transcend that, but today is not the time to talk about it. Yeah, Bindu.
Smita, you were telling, like, when we eat certain items, food, and our body detoxes or something like that. So when we know that it is happening like that, should we go on, keep on eating that?
Good question. At a higher masters, what they say is, yes, you should keep eating that. They say, okay, that's a very hard path, but that is the answer. The answer is, they say, yes, you keep eating that, you keep eating that, you keep eating that, you keep suffering, you keep suffering, you keep suffering. At some point, the body will not want to eat it anymore.
How long
But
would
what
that
we are
be?
doing is, every time we eat it, we are actually suffering, and we are
Yes.
suffering the suffering. So, but somewhere we are not ending the loop. Okay, even it's including me. Okay, even I am not in that state of efficiency yet. But I was just thinking. I mean, I keep experimenting on my body and observing many things. Yeah, that is also a part of my observation. I've done a lot of observations, but over a period of time, it still has been very intellectual and all. It works for some time. Over a period of time, I think I fall back into the same trap. So we'll have to get to that state to eventually be able to look at it at that holistic level, and become more accepting about everything. But today, I think we are not in that state. Are we in we should get to a state where sickness or in health, whether it is in sickness, I'm willing to lose the body, but I'm going to work at a mental level and then fix this fear that I have. Are we working at that level? We are not yet. Food is a very big subject. Okay, it's very close to the soul. Compared to the other, you can forget people, you can forget relationships, but food you can't forget. So it's a very deep topic. So it will take, that attachment to food is very, very strong. It will take some time. So I think it's a journey. That is why slowly we have to go on this path. Raise ourselves on this path. Slowly remove lower energy foods, and then go to higher energy foods. Don't do any drastic changes. Sometimes for healing, we may do some drastic changes and all that, but then over a period of time, start from at some point and then go up the chain. Observe the emotions that is associated with the food. See if it is attachment to the food. See if you're mindlessly eating because of desire for the food and all that. Then you look at why I am attached to this food. What is that emotional imbalance that is basically connecting me to this food? Why am I associating that emotional imbalance to this food? So like that, we need to keep asking questions and see, the more you bring sunlight into your life, the more you bring joy into your life, many of these cravings will actually go. The more you bring juices and all that into your life, many of the cravings will actually go. Naturally, it will go. Because you are naturally going to higher frequencies. Sunlight is very important. There is no one answer for anything, but we just have to see what works for each of us, and then we'll have to keep doing it. Okay, but this path of evolution, it's not like we are just going to go off to nirvana and then after that, that's it. We are going to fifth dimension and that's it. No, we are here for experiencing 3D, right? That 3D quota has to get over, which means every part of the fear that you have, whether you're in that 5D level thought or whether you're in 3D level thought or 4D level awareness, you still have to go through all these experiences in the 3D. You may have a 5D body, but you'll still have to go through all the 3D experiences and contribute to this earth. If earth has taught you something, you need to give the earth back whatever she gave you as knowledge. You cannot take it back. There's no use. You can't take it back. You'll forget. Okay, the knowledge that earth has taught you, you have to keep it here only. So you have to distribute that knowledge on earth only. So many of these things we have to do as seva back. Only then we can go back. So we are not here for time pass. We are here to evolve ourselves, at the same time contribute to the earth in many different ways. We need to finish our quota, right? Earth's quota we need to finish. Third dimensional quota we need to finish. Until then we can't. We will keep coming back. Even whether it's we are in 5D body or whatever body, we'll keep coming back. Okay, when I say 5D body, it means you have an energy field now that is going to filter all your experiences and give you a 5D experience. So how did you get that energy field to become 5D? Because you've trained that energy field to constantly keep taking experiences and responding it with a 5D response. You're taking a duality experience and you are responding it with a oneness experience. Then what is happening? You took something and then when it is going back from a 5D frequency. From inside, you're trying to do more of 5D work. So then what will happen? Your energy field itself will start to realize that you are now a 5D being, and then you need 5D. Because when you give, what will happen? What you give is what you get. Right? So you need to give. You need to stop looking at duality from the eyes of duality. You need to look at duality from the eyes of oneness. Then you'll give that oneness, then you'll get oneness related experience only. That is how when you see your improvement in your experiences, people are now healthy, then many things will actually improve. Relationships are getting better, abundance is getting better, wealth is getting better. When all of these things suddenly start getting better and better, you know that actually your energy field is now improving. Because now what is coming to your reality is now getting better and better. Because you gave that out in the first place. So don't try to protect the body all the time. Do your job for the body, but fixing the body should be done at a mind level. You can fix the body, all the problems of the body which are bothering you, you can fix it with whatever. There are so many methods, you can fix it. But what after that? When you're dying, you have to drop this body and go, no? All the work that you did was for the body. Now, what did you do with your mind? So that is where, so mind should forget fear. Mind should remove jealousy. Mind should remove all those lower frequencies. And all those lower frequencies should get converted to higher frequencies, higher frequency thoughts. So always, 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 whatever choice you make, it may be eating fruits only, but the other choices that you don't make, right? Don't have bad opinion for it. Don't have bad opinion. Over a period of time, to test that also, maybe that food is going to come in front of you. Maybe whatever rice or something might come in front of you. At that time, be in surrender and eat it. Even if because of our belief systems, we will fall sick. Okay, not because of rice. Because of our belief system, we will fall sick. And at that time, believe that, oh yeah, my belief system made me fall sick. It's okay. I'll take that experience. It's the body's time to go through evolution. Let it go through. Then mind should be in acceptance. When the body is going through problems, mind should be in acceptance. Mind should not confuse the body again. Okay, fine. Let's go to the chapter now. Okay, we did what are Akashic records. Sorry, the Akashic records. Now we will see 6.7, creating the Akashic record. All HTCs that incarnate into a human form create an Akashic record for their human experience prior to incarnation. Okay, so before their incarnation into a human form, they create an Akashic record for their human experience. So something like a plan, a blueprint. What will I do as a part of this life? The records are designed within the quantum field, offering an infinite amount of possibilities or consciousness to choose from. You can imagine the record like an energetic vault. Vault means like a storehouse, like a tijori kind of thing. Energetic vault of information held in an energetic field. So it's like a plan of record. Okay, it's like a plan of record, but it is in the form of energy. Each record is created through light codes. The light codes create the Akashic record. Once the entire Akashic record is designed, it is shifted into human body's DNA upon incarnation. Okay, so where are these what are these light codes and all of that we thought, no? So these light codes that have been planned before incarnation are now going to be put inside the DNA. Okay, so now the DNA has all the blueprint for what is planned and all of that. The Akashic record is merely a large collection of light codes holding a very specific information within the human form. Okay, DNA, remember, is inside the human body. It's a physical thing. It's a physical thing means that strands of the DNA are physical, and that strand is designed such that they will hold the light codes inside. The light codes are light, right? So they have designed it such that they will carry that light. Okay, so that is what these are. We read in detail about that, no? That's what. Each time a HTC incarnates into a human form, did we read this? No. We connect with the HTC in the field of the Akashic record. We show them, B means GFOL. GFOL connects with each HTC in the field of the Akashic records. We show them how the 3D field will work and how the human body will hold their consciousness. We provide them with all the universal laws that will exist while they are in the 3D field, and we show them what is energetically available to be experienced within the 3D field. Once they have the necessary information, they design the framework for their human journey. So they say that this Akashic record, okay, has some information, and based on that, they will tell them, oh, this is the information, this is the available consciousness, all of that, they are going to tell them, give them one high-level information. And then based on that, what the specific HTC is going to do, they are going to design the framework, which means they're going to say, okay, I want to be born in Japan, I want to be born for this parent, I want to have a long, tall body, I want to have a slim figure, I want to have a beautiful face, or I have to have long hair. Whatever it is that they've designed according to the plan, they will design the framework for their human journey. In DNA, there are two parts, right? One part of the DNA is going to hold common information. The other part of the DNA is going to hold customized information, which the HTC is going to customize now. Each time a HTC incarnates into a human form, they create a new Akashic record. That is why if you, let's say you meditate and all that, and you get to access your Akashic records and all that, you'll be accessing it, accessing your current Akashic records. Each record is designed as a separate and unique human life. The Akashic record holds the day, time, and physical location of birth, physical attributes, core fundamental consciousness, means like core fundamental consciousness means like fear. What is it that you want to experience this time? I want to experience fear. I want to experience fearlessness. I want to experience maybe jealousy, all that kind of thing. Contracts, the family. Contracts means with whom are you? Who should give you what? Who should give you what kind of information? Who should come and become your teacher? Who should, let's say, do some work for you? Something and all these contracts, or who should become your brother? Who should become your sister? How many years of contract they have? All that. The family map. Which lineage you are going to be born? Because in each family ancestral line, there will be certain patterns that each family line will hold a certain pattern, a certain level of evolution, all of that. So in that family map, if you are wanting to that experience, then you will know what is a family trend all about and all that map. Ancestral consciousness cords. Let's say there are some ancestor related, which means in that lineage, now certain emotions are very predominant, certain things are not handled properly, certain emotions and all that. Because in that, if you are born to an ancestral line, then you are also connected to that entire chain of family. In that family, if there is something that somebody else did, in that some other HTC has taken incarnation in some, let's say, grandfather's body, and there was something that was pending, you will also decide to see what can I do about that. Okay, you have scope of working on that and releasing those blocks, and many of those things are also available to your conscious. So that is ancestral consciousness cords. Consciousness means some emotion or blocks or whatever. There are cords, which means some block, some bandhana, something is holding, something that where cleansing is needed, something like that. And blueprint or purpose of incarnating. So all that basic level of information that you need, everything is available as a part of the Akashic records. What are the things are there? When the higher dimensional consciousness enters the field of the Akashic record to create its human life, they begin by choosing the sex, such as male, female. They then choose the day, time, and physical location of their birth, including continent, country, state, city, town, or any other location where they choose to be born. So there are some children who are, let's say, born in the US. There are some children who are born in India. In my own case, my first daughter was born in the US. My second daughter was born here. So for whatever reason they chose, although my older one was there only for 3 months, she chose, and then now after 18 years she's actually gone back. Maybe because most of her work is going to be there, but she had to be born to Indian parents and Indian living 18 years. So because that fundamentals maybe had to be carried from India and it had to be distributed in that US continent for some purpose. Who knows? This is one of the most important decisions made within the Akashic record, as each continent and country allows for unique opportunities and experiences. The physical location creates the foundation for the human and can dictate the entire human journey. If a HTC chooses to enter the human form in Africa during the 1800s, their experience will be drastically different from entering a human form in England at the same time. Which means in 1800 Africa to 1800 England is going to be obviously very different. The physical location of their birth also dictates many physical attributes of the human form, including eye color, hair, textures, body type, facial features, all of that. So if somebody has chosen a certain facial features, they have definitely chosen it for some certain reason. HTC has chosen it for a certain reason. In our physical body, we may not like it, but that also has been created for a certain reason. So we need to just accept it. The HTC simultaneously chooses the physical characteristics of its human body and the birth location, as both decisions impact the other. Obviously, right? Birth location means if they are born in America, they'll probably have some of these characteristics that continent and other thing had to be providing them the food and everything would have impacted in some way or the other. Although the choice of parents is what genetically provides the physical attributes, it is the location of the birth that initiates the physical appearance of the human body. All physical attributes are designed by DNA, including hair, eye color, skin color, but HTCs chooses all of these prior to incarnating into human form based on the physical location of their birth and birth parents. Okay, technically everything is planned by the HTC. Once the HTC chooses its sex, details for birth, and physical attributes, these choices are intended into light codes that create an aspect of the Akashic records. Okay, everything is now planned and then it is Akashic records are updated. Core foundational consciousnesses. Once the HTC has chosen sex, location of incarnation, physical attributes, it then chooses core foundational consciousnesses. These consciousnesses will dictate and create the framework for many of the experiences the human will have during their life. What kind of emotional experiences should I have? All of that, the nature. Because like as Smita, let's say I am born as some boy or something in some period. I would have chosen to be a different person. Maybe I would have been a very, let's say a very warrior kind of boy. warrior kind of man. But now I'm not like a warrior at all. I'm more a different female and different kind of personality. Almost all experiences within the human journey will stem from the core foundational consciousnesses. Typically, a high HTC will choose 6 to 10 core foundational consciousnesses to hold within their records. Each consciousness is chosen vibrates in a 3D frequency and can be seen as a template that drives specific experience in the human journey. Let's say, for example, I choose, let's say, telling the lies or something. Then my experiences will be according to that, right? So if I have to now become a very truthful person, but I have already been I have been a liar or something, which means my characteristic will be liar. So if a liar has to become a truthful person, what should happen? I need to get so many experiences where I'll be constantly choosing to tell a lie because I've practiced that a whole lot in my past lives. Now what will happen at some point, I'll also get one experience where police is going to catch me for all the lying that I'm doing, and I'll be put into prison or whatever. And then I'll realize that, oh my God, I shouldn't have lied. I need to tell the truth from now on. And then I learn to start to face the problems, and then I learn to tell the truth. So like this, experiences are decided based on the consciousnesses that you're choosing in that life. And each life is different. They said, no, each Akashic record is different for each life. And this time, what are you choosing? This guy is choosing core foundational consciousnesses are chosen from infinite number of consciousnesses that are experienced within the 3D. Okay, see, infinite. Just imagine, to finish this quota, how many more lives we have to take? God knows how many we finished, and God knows how many we have to take. A consciousness in the 3D field can be anything from abandonment. Abandonment means somebody would have abandoned you and gone. That is an experience that you'll get. You will be experiencing abandonment. Maybe your parents would have dumped you in some dustbin and gone, or maybe your husband left you. Some form of abandonment you'll experience. Or maybe your parents did not do your marriage properly. Something like that, some form of abandonment. It doesn't have to be like same kind of abandonment. Different abandonment feelings will come, no? So then abuse. Okay, you may have a husband who's abusing you. You may have a mother-in-law who's abusing you. So many permutations and combinations of abuse only, remember. Right? In abuse, how many different people can abuse you? In a sexual situation also, somebody can abuse you. Or maybe somebody, child abuse. Something all may happen. Then neglect. Right? Neglect is also one consciousness. Addiction. Okay, different kinds of addiction. Food addiction. Gadget addiction. Then alcohol addiction. Cigarette addiction. So addiction is also a consciousness that you have chosen to experience because you want experience for addiction. Then poverty. You want to experience poverty. So when we see people who don't have money, or yo, I don't have money, I don't have money, I don't have money. But yeah, we say no, they have only planned that poverty. Because every life you can't be a rich person, no? At some point you have to understand what is poverty also. Then lack. Lack of something or the other in our life. And I think this lack is a very huge thing. In every lack might probably be there in most of our lives. In some form of lack will be there. That's why we constantly seek to feel, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't have this, I don't have that. Some form of lack we are experiencing. Then murder. We choose to murder somebody or the other. Then greed, to abundance also. And fame, unconditional love, safety, success, peace, and so on, so much more. All these are that high level plan that you're doing. I want to experience all these things. And now you will design experiences around these topics. Okay, this is what your Akashic record will contain. And you'll also choose to understand who is going to give me these experiences. And now you'll have contracts with those people. You'll have contracts with those HTCs and say, you come and give me abuse. You come and murder me. Or I will come and murder you. Okay. And then you give me unconditional love. Okay. In this situation, I will experience success. And then from this point onwards, I will experience poverty. All of these things we are actually planning. Why we are planning beforehand itself? Because we are not connected to HS. So most of these things are beforehand only, it's planned. And based on this plan, HS is trying to somehow figure out and guide us. Okay, like props will be sent to us. Props will be sent to us maybe through newspapers, through people. Anyway, people are already planned. Contracts and all that have already been designed. So it's all going to come to you. Apart from that, you'll get YouTube videos. You may get teachers who will come and teach you. So many things will be sent to you by our higher self, so that you can get that clue to learn and move on. Okay, so which is why, see, imagine if you have to communicate to somebody in some house without a telephone or something, how will you plan? You'll find ways to communicate to that person without a telephone, right? Or maybe a cell phone or something like that. You'll find a person who'll probably go there, and then you'll send a word with that person, or you'll probably look for a pigeon and then send one a letter, or probably you'll look for a postman to send one letter, something or the other, and then you'll hope that it will actually help them. They may catch that clue, or they may not catch that clue, but you would have planned for all of that. Many of these consciousnesses are experienced by the human. However, when the HTC chooses one of these core foundational consciousnesses, it becomes the base that leads all the other actions and decisions in creating a pattern of experiences within the human journey. See, remember that if I choose to experience, let's say, poverty now, all of the experiences and all of that experiences will be coming around poverty, for example. And my mindset and belief systems will also be poverty based, lack based. And at some point when I'm done, and now let's say I've planned richness or something at some point in my future, in some other life, then imagine I have to undo all of these belief systems and then get to that state of richness. Understood? Because now you have already built in a lot of poverty related thing, because you wanted to experience that at a core foundational level. Now you have to do completely opposite of that in some other lives. Okay, so which is why every part in our aspect of life feels very difficult. To learn something new, it feels difficult because we are trying to overwrite our old habits, and we are trying to remove our old habits and trying to overwrite the new habits on top of that. Okay, and how much we have practiced the old habit to make it that beautiful experience. We have actually practiced it a lot, and now we are trying to go on top of that and do new habits. So a new habit has still not got strengthened, so that's why you find it very difficult to do anything with discipline. And it is important that here, to actually maintain discipline, if you have planned something and if you want to go in a certain direction, maintain that discipline, so that you know it's going to be challenging. You know that you will fall many times, and you'll have to wake up again. You'll have to keep falling. You have to wake up again. And that is why a new foundation is going to be started, new experiences. Almost all of what is experienced within the human journey originates from one of the core foundational consciousnesses within the records. For example, a core foundational consciousness such as abandonment will create experiences in the human life that will reflect abandonment. The human will unconsciously create experiences that will allow for abandonment. So which means he will attract situations in his life which will actually make him abandoned, and he will feel abandonment. These experiences will create belief systems, thought patterns, behaviors, wounds, traumas, relationship patterns, all stemming from abandonment. The human is unaware of the patterns that are being created through the Akashic records. Okay, all of these are actually happening, but are we aware? We are not aware. We are consciously trying to work through them, and we are creating those new experiences. When the HTC chooses these core foundational consciousnesses, they are doing so through the lens of neutrality. These, when they planned it, they are choosing from the lens of neutrality. They are merely choosing consciousnesses to experience in 3D field. They want to finish the syllabus, that's all. Okay, for them, Hindi is no different from English or physics or something. They do not see them through the lens of duality. There isn't a right and a wrong, or a good or a bad. So here, murder versus not murdering doesn't really matter for them. It is an experience to have while in the human form. They want all experiences. I mean, like, they don't want to even leave one single experience. They will do chutney to this body and they still want to experience all those things. However, once the HTC drops into the human form, they forget and get lost in the illusion that they are these experiences. That they are these experiences. The human does not remember the Akashic records and filters all the experiences through the lens of duality and polarity. There is a right and a wrong and a good and a bad. So we feel that, oh, my parents abandoned me, that's why they are very bad, I'm not going to talk to them. Today, now they are coming back to me after a long time, and now I will not talk to them. See, all this is duality. They did something bad to me. My entire childhood was lost because they abandoned me. I could have enjoyed my childhood like anybody else, but they left me rotting near the dustbin, and somebody picked me and put me into some orphanage or something like that. So I lost my whole childhood in orphanage. Now if my parents come back, should I be grateful for them? They have just shied away from all their responsibility. So why should I forgive them? All these kinds of things are duality kind of thoughts, right? So to be very honest, we are so much in duality that it is very difficult to even think like that. Think at that neutral level. But now that we are aware that these things are actually something that we only have planned, all that we can do is what? Accept it. We know it can be challenging for the human to experience core foundational consciousnesses, but it was imperative in order to keep the human in a contained framework. The 3D field has a large spectrum of consciousnesses that can be experienced. If a human did not have the core consciousnesses framing their human journey, they would be moving all over the 3D spectrum. Okay, if there is no plan, it is like a drunk man who is just all over the place. Okay, or a blind man just walking all over the place. So it is important that they had a framework, and they are now it is like a horse. They are now moving us like this. Within all these experiences that we have, it's all planned, right? There is no change, there is nothing. So we just have to move through them with the state of acceptance that, okay, yeah, I only planned. Yeah, I only planned. So yeah, it's okay, let it come. So I only planned, let it come. So something like that. There is some amount of confusion, what to accept, what not to accept. So there are many confusions like this, but at the same time, this confusion itself over time also becomes clear. It would be quite quickly create chaos and energetic breakdowns. We decided the core foundational consciousnesses to create a more contained and stable experience within the 3D field. Okay, so this is like a contained environment, which means like a syllabus of the school. In school, they have all these books which have been set in a certain pattern. Lessons have been chosen, everything have been chosen, and like, so then we are going to just navigate through those experiences. It is not happening newly. Once the HTC chooses a core foundational experience like abandonment, for example, the energy of that consciousness is then intended into light codes. These light codes become an aspect of the Akashic records. Contracts. Once the core foundational consciousnesses are chosen, contracts are made with other HDCs to allow these core consciousnesses to play out. Without HDCs agreeing to contract with each other, the core foundational experiences would be held in the field of chance. Field of chance means whether it may happen or it may not happen, because there is nobody to execute that. These may not be experienced in the human journey at all if there is nobody to contract. It was necessary that the human had contracts to ensure that these consciousnesses were experienced. So if you have a very abusive husband or somebody, you have only you only ask them, please come and be my abuser, please, please, please. A contract is when two or more HTCs agree to connect while in the human form in order to allow one or more of the humans to experience a core consciousness. So typically what happens is, let's say if this time I have experienced abandonment, next time they will tell you, you give me the abandonment experience. This time I gave you, next time you give me. Like this, there are soul families. where they are constantly giving each other experiences, and they are finishing the quota of consciousnesses within that scope of 3D. A contract is when two or more HTCs agree to connect with them in the human form in order to allow one or more of the humans to experience a CC. These contracts are created before to incarnating and held in the Akashic record. Okay, contracts are also held. Many are made with HTCs that play the role of your family members, children, romantic partners, co-workers, friends, and acquaintances. Okay, all these are contracts. There are 3 important components to the contract: the agreement to connect during the human life, the specific relationship between the humans, the core consciousnesses that will be experienced between them, and the contracts do not hold specific details such as dates, times, or locations. Free will creates an inability to determine such details. So free will creates an inability to determine such details means, in general, as a part of free will, you can't decide on such and such a date, such and such a thing has to happen. They will only decide the experience. They will only decide it has to happen at some point in my life or whatever. But they will not say on such and such a date only this will happen. That is what this says. Even when you're doing manifestation and all that, they don't really ask you to put timeline to that and all that. No, so typically for the same things. A contract is an energetic intention to experience a CC. The contract is held within light codes and stored in the Akashic record within the human's DNA. Okay, this Akashic record is also inside the human DNA. The contract is activated when 2 or more humans holding the contract connect in the physical form. As soon as the humans meets, the light codes are activated. The energy cord immediately connects the 2 human form and the contract begins. Okay, so typically that is what I actually take children for that matter. They are with you for a certain period of time, daily, morning to evening, morning to night, every day they are there, from babies to a certain period. After that, what they do, they go off for higher studies or they go out for studies. From that time, it is impossible for them to actually come back and stay in that kind of duration in future. All that contract that you had with them was 18-20 years. You'll be with us day in and day out kind of thing. Then I'll be getting experiences from you as a daughter or me as a mother to them day in and day out. But after that, it's going to be intermittent. Maybe the experiences will be through phone, right? And after that, maybe they'll get married and they'll go off, or they'll get a work and they'll go settle somewhere else. Then one day they'll come, 2 days they'll come, 3 days they'll come, they'll go off. So then the contract is now, it's now a different kind of contract with the same human being. So that is why they say, as long as the human being is with you, you have a lot of scope to learn from them. But once they get out and you have not learned while they were with you, right? You have always been resisting or whatever, because it's a matter of chance. They will give you the experience. It doesn't mean that you will learn or you will not learn. That depends on what is your nature of learning, or whether you're actually learning habits. It depends on your habits and whatever. So if you are not learning while they are with you, if you are not practicing oneness, if you're not practicing whatever experiences they are giving, then you will lose out a lot of opportunity to grow from that thing. Even with parents, you are with them only for a certain period of time, right? After that, you will go off to somebody else's house. So while you are with your parents, learn. And once the contract ends, then what will happen? Whatever you had to learn, you did not learn. And now you have to take another life to learn from a parent again. To maybe you did not serve the parent, or you did not take teachings from the parent or something. Then now you have to take another life because you did not do that job as a daughter or a son or something like that. Okay, so it is important that you honor the contracts while they are with you, or while they are performing with you. The core foundational consciousnesses that is held within the contract and the Akashic records will begin to be experienced. The human will feel the consciousness, CC, based on the behaviors of the other contracted form. So they will know, oh, I'm feeling abandonment, all that they will know, because it will all play out. For example, the HTC has chosen the CC of physical abuse. They contract with another HTC who agrees to play the abuser. Okay. Remember, we only have asked them to be an abuser. Both agree they will experience their contract through a romantic relationship. The abused will incarnate as a woman, for example. The abuser will incarnate as a man. When and how they meet is not determined. When they meet in human form, the light code holding the contract within the DNA is activated and the energetic cord is formed between the two human bodies. The contract begins and the roles are played out. Contracts are some of the most selfless acts the HTC can play out in human form. To be able to allow HTCs to experience what is choosing in the human form is an honor and a gift, it seems. To be able to allow a HTC to experience what it is choosing in the human form is an honor and a gift. So which means even if you are getting abused, it's an honor to be abused, it seems. Because you're honoring somebody is honoring the contract to be an abuser, and you are honoring the contract of your own Akashic records. We will discuss contracts more detail in chapter 18. What we wish to remind you is that many of the relationships that you had in the past and currently have now were contracted prior to incarnating to fulfill the CC that you chose. Nothing is left to chance. Your higher self is always guiding you through your human journey with a map and guidance of your Akashic record you designed. How they help us is not, they can help you through your thoughts also, but you may not be aware those thoughts are coming from them. Suddenly you'll get a thought of doing something, suddenly you'll get a thought of doing that in the way they reach us, maybe through our thoughts itself. Sometimes if you can't if you're not listening to your own thoughts, they will come through the thoughts of the contracts that you've made. If you're listening to them, they will come through those contracts to actually give you that message. So in many different ways they try to work with you. Family maps. When higher dimensional consciousness is choosing its contract, it also chooses its immediate and extended family. The family system, or what we call the family map, consists of parents, siblings, children, extended family, including your in-laws, including your husband and all that. This map is chosen for two reasons: agreements to play out contracts, specific opportunities or experiences. Okay, we'll do this and we'll stop. Okay, we'll do one thing. We'll just stop at we'll do family maps again tomorrow. From here, 6.11, we'll start. Okay, we'll stop here. Okay, any questions? Sangeeta, you had a question. You had to also tell how are you running your life now. Nidhi. You are not on mute. You're on mute.
Am I audible now?
Yeah.
So ma'am, like what I could understand is the HTC is designing the life and it is like making contracts and everything. So when the HTC is incarnating, then it forgets everything. The moment it comes out, it is coming out of the womb and all, it forgets everything. So okay, and then it gets trapped in the illusion that in the drama.
Yeah.
So ma'am, like they say now, new soul, baby soul, this soul, old soul. So ma'am, where does this concept fits into this, ma'am?
They have led many different lives, many different bodies. They have that number of lives that they've led. If it is very less, then it is a infant soul, baby soul, and all of that. Then over a period of time, see the amount of experiences you would have got and all that, it will reflect in the consciousness. It'll reflect in the contracts, no? If you've chosen a baby soul to come and then give you all these experiences, then the baby soul will be very crude. It will just be like pakka in duality. You may be like slowly moving towards oneness, meditation, and all that, but then you'll have a husband who's probably still a baby.
So like
Because
the
you
baby
want
soul.
that, you have to have that, because you need to develop a lot of acceptance towards that kind of let's say people also, right? So to develop that quality, you'll have those kinds of people around you.
Like the baby soul would not have any idea about how the duality plays and everything. So
No, they'll have an idea, but they'll not be spiritually oriented and all that. They'll be totally materialistic. They'll be like in the happening of the sansar. Maybe they'll still want a lot of movies, and they'll like a lot of enjoyment will be sansar oriented enjoyment, all that, where you may not be able to connect so much because you've done it and played it and all of that. It's the number of lives that they've led that will give them the wisdom, no? So based on that wisdom that you are eventually, as the wisdom improves, you're eventually moving on the path of evolution. So the higher you are on the path of evolution, that much of that old soul you are. If you're still low in the path of evolution, then you are still a baby, a young infant, toddler, and all of
can I actually, ma'am, like when we were discussing all these things, actually this thousand seeds of joy, I was like it mentioned that the Pandavas, they were baby souls.
that.
They were
Yeah,
not,
baby soul.
yeah, they were baby souls. Karna was more or less an old soul, and Kauravas were in the middle, वो beach wala part they were there. So the Pandavas were like comfort wala tha. They had not swam into that much duality, and also they were still connected to their HTCs or higher self. So they were more or less connected, and hence they were not कि ठीक है अगर if the Kauravas are wanting their property and also let them have it, and also they were still very much connected, and they were not so maybe
What Deepti ma'am had told us, right? She told that they were all anshatmas of the enlightened
masters
Indra and
and
other gods.
uh,
So they were anshatmas, which means they were already. They said no. If somebody is connected to the Purnatma, then the Purnatma can also make another. They can get their own portion of themselves as rather new form will start. That is anshatma, which is why they were called baby souls. But then their characteristics and all that were still coming from that anshatma, right? So maybe that is why they were all more sattvic kind of and all that. They were not polluted
ma'am,
so much yet.
and ma'am, one thing I just wanted to share, like Bindu ma'am was asking all those food. I missed out. I could not hear completely what you told us about the food part. But ma'am, one thing I just wanted to tell you, ma'am, it may bring clarity to many people. I'm not, matlab, maybe my journey will it shows light on some aspects. If you remember, like when you were doing that holistic Buddha part, ma'am, I actually told this also. It actually felt that my soul had been wanting to listen to whatever you mentioned in that holistic Buddha regarding dairy products, regarding juices and everything. It's as if my soul was wanting to hear it. And ma'am, 2 3 days back, all of a sudden, it just flashed that leaving dairy was a part of my plan, and everything was connected. My weight issues, everything. Although that much clarity I still don't have, but I could like बहुत सारे puzzles, jigsaw puzzle I could get, and it was a part of my soul journey. And I was also contemplating, a lot of ideas were coming to my mind. Should I leave dairy? Should I don't leave dairy? Maybe my soul has been wanting to experience, if I stop eating dairy, then maybe I will take another birth, and all of these things were coming into my mind. And then this thing was also there, that when I suppose if I'm eating ice cream or pastry, I'm just in a rush to eat. It's not that I'm enjoying. I just want to finish it as if कि कोई आके ले जाएगा. So all these things were coming in my mind, and then achanak, and then when in one of the classes you mentioned that the animal products were serving at some point in our journey, but once we are in the process of evolution, those things stop helping you in your journey. So all of this, I don't know, somehow gave me the strength to actually let go and move on. And it's not that I'm against those things. They have played a very important role in my life. And with due respect, with full gratitude, I'm able to
Let them go.
let them go. So I just wanted to share this one.
Yeah. I think it actually makes sense. Absolutely. Even I have experienced this in my life. Yes. True. Thank
And it
you.
actually flashed that all of this was a part of my journey, and how one piece led to another, then third piece, fourth piece, everything.
You can't
So
explain
yes,
those pieces, no? That is also the whole
I
part of it.
can't, I can't, ma'am. I mean, I'm getting goosebumps. I
Yeah.
can't.
Even I got goosebumps.
So all of a sudden, I remember that holistic Buddha class where I remember saying this, ki, ma'am, as if my soul had been wanting to hear all of this.
Hmm.
It's as if it's been waiting. कितने सालों से या कितने जन्मों से, it's as if it's been waiting. And ma'am, although I don't remember each and everything very clearly, but yes, कुछ चीजें ना एकदम अंदर तक चली गई है from that holistic Buddha. And I think these things only have made me go further, ma'am. So thank you for making me a part of your soul
Yeah.
journey, ma'am.
Thank you so much. And even for me also, right? There are so many aspects even in the food where you exactly explained, should I leave, should I not leave, should I this, is it right, is it not right? Whatever that confusion, right? We are always in that state of I think in one of the Tattvamasi classes or something, I think Deepti ma'am had explained this as state of void. You are neither here nor there, but you are experiencing that state of void. I don't know in which class she mentioned this. So that void is what you are going to feel, where you are not having clarity of you're still tapping into the next dimension or next, let's say, next frequency or whatever, but you still don't have clarity in that process of transition. You still don't have clarity. You'll still be in that confusion. I think what she mentioned was accept that state of confusion also as a part of transition.
I did that only, ma'am.
Mm.
I did that only, ma'am. At one point of time, I did that only. And I was this clarity also that I'm eating only to just to eat and not to satisfy myself. That also clarity getting is a big thing for me, ma'am.
Mm.
I mean, getting that thing also to such a great level. I mean, to understand this, because ma'am, like in my parents from my maternal side, my name is synonym with cake and sandesh and chocolate. Like Nidhi means chocolate. She can't survive without all this. So, ma'am, me leaving all this, my father was like, "What? You have left?" So, for me, it's a big thing. And, ma'am, in a way, it has given me a lot of strength because now I can. I'm not judging anyone, but I can be vocal about few of the practices which I don't don't believe, and now I can be a bit strong about that. That okay, you do, but please excuse me. I don't want to do so.
Yeah. Actually, it makes sense. If you are very firm in what you want to do, Puri Kainat will actually help you.
Yes, ma'am.
Where
Yes.
and you will also have that inner strength to go and face situations and say, no, this is what I want to do, and in a very calm and nice and peaceful manner. And you
But
won't feel bad about somebody feeling bad, or it will not actually play out like that. Yeah, I think I
the
can
people
do.
will understand that if she can leave these things, then definitely it's no point in telling her or like forcing her. So it's like कि आप मुझे force मत करो, आपको जिसमें विश्वास है that you do, and you let me do what I believe in.
Yeah.
So it has given me a lot of strength in actually following what. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Can't
you.
thank
Thank
you
you so
enough,
much.
ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Nidhi, for
ma'am.
this feedback. Beautiful feedback. Yes, Nalini?
Yes, Nita. Actually, I have a question in this. It's actually when during incarnation, while choosing the core fundamental consciousnesses, can more than one be chosen, like or a combination of many?
They said no, about 9 to 10 will be there at any point in your life.
Okay. Okay, so based on which one is higher or which one is lower, it
I'm
will
sure
be
there is that coding also
incarnation
that
will
is done.
be again, it
Yeah.
will happen again and again.
Yeah, again and again it will be happening.
Okay, thank you.
That is why we have led thousands of lives, and in that
Right.
same combinations only may have been repeated also. In some things, you may have actually done a lot of work on some consciousnesses and understanding. You may not have covered all the 10. You may probably have done enough work on some. You may not have done enough work on some. Because we still get carried away in the whole thing, no? That's why.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Sangeeta?
Yeah. Okay, so yesterday's question was that the density in the 5D plane already is that big that the HTC cannot lead itself on its own. That's why it needs
HS.
connection with HS. Now, with 3D plane, it's even denser. And we surely don't have connection with HS to begin with. We have to work on it.
No, connection
Till
with
then,
HS. Connection with HS is hazy. It is
hazy.
dim.
Okay.
In 5D, what happens? That guy who's connected, that portion knows my HS is connected to me. He's telling me something. I will listen to him and then I will execute. Because he himself is not able to judge and take decisions of his own. But he's connected and he is able to connect with that HS, and he listens to the HS. Thoughts will come, whatever comes in some form, it will come in the form of all his inner sensory perceptions. It is going to come, and then he's going to go based on that. But now we get it hazily, we get it, but we are not able to differentiate. We are not able to. We don't know that it is coming from there. We can't.
So in the form of intuition
between,
or dream or inner voice.
Inner voice. We don't know the difference between our ego or mind, and we don't know the difference between that or whether it's coming from HS. Because everything is coming in the form of thoughts only.
Yeah. And then another aspect I thought was, now it might be coming from ego or from HS. But earlier when there's a child, when the HTC is in the form of a child, then all decisions are being taken care of by the family or by other humans around him. Until the ego is not strong enough or the HTC is not strong enough to recognize the intuitions and all, till then the people around him have created kind of template for life, that this is the type of life you have to lead. You have to study in school, then go to college, then marry, then have kids and those things. So people who are not awakened enough to recognize things, they're just following the template.
And he knows that he's going to go through that. He's aware that all this will happen. Even with that awareness, only he comes. He knows how things will play out. He's able to actually get that understanding. He's able to see that future, or whatever you want to call that.
But when we talk about surrendering, isn't it whatever template other people have made for me, or made a default template that exists in the part of the world where I was born and where I'm living, I'm just following that without any inputs from my side?
All these experiences are planned only, no? In your Akashic records, it's playing out.
Because I decided the location and parents.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically,
Unrelated
when you
question.
surrender, what happens? You are allowing your experiences to play out, and you are not interfering in the process. Even in 5D, there was no interference by the HTC that was connected. He was supposed to just listen to the HS and take his experiences, emotionally understand it or whatever it is, and then it would flow back. But here also there is no such participation. You just have to experience ideally. Whatever comes in front of you, experience it.
Just
That
taken
is-
as an experience.
just
This is
taken as
also-
an experience. But then now we have likes, dislikes. We don't want some suffering. We want some suffering. Now let's say you have made a belief system that if I eat this food, I will fall sick. So what will you do? Ego will say, no, don't do that, because if you suffer now there is one more experience also which will follow that. And let's say you have to go to a marriage or something like that, and then you don't want to be sick, you want to go to that marriage. Now what will you do? You'll say, I'll not eat this food because I want to go to that marriage. But idea was, the experience came so that maybe you should eat it, fall sick, and also be surrendered or whatever. We don't know how the further experiences will play out unless you chose that step in some way. Only when you take a decision to handle an experience in a certain way, only then the next few connected decisions will play out. No, so we don't know many of these things.
Yeah.
So if we do something, if we follow a certain, rather, let's say something came and then you just follow it the way it is. Based on that, something else will flow. Some other door will open.
And whatever experience, whatever core consciousness we are supposed to experience in the future will come our way, maybe in a different form.
That is also there. Let's say you run away from one person. Let's say you run away from an abuser. Somebody else will abuse you, because forms and shapes may be many. Because you are carrying that contract with you. You are carrying that DNA, Akashic records with you, no? The plan you want to experience. So somebody else will play that role for you.
Yeah.
Or maybe you only wanted to run away from one and then get it from somebody else.
In today's class, it was we read that if contracts are not made, then we are in the field of chance. And then later, it was also said nothing happens by chance.
No, did they say contracts? They talked about consciousness, I think. See, if contracts are not made, but you have a plan of those core consciousnesses to experience, with whom will you experience? Okay, so it will happen because we want to do it, just that it will happen randomly with someone. Instead of having a specific person with whom we have made a contract. Maybe chance means it's still left to maybe law of attraction or something like that. Or maybe there were multiple HTCs who chose the core consciousness of abandonment but did not have contracts with anyone specific. Then they just by chance meet each other. Let me read that. Without HTCs agreeing to contract with each other, the core foundational experiences would be held in the field of chance. They may not be experienced in the human journey. Oh, may not be experienced at all. They may not be experienced in the human journey. It was necessary that the human had contracts to ensure that these consciousnesses were experienced. So if you don't have a contract to experience a certain consciousness, then it will not happen. Because if nobody is meant to give you that, then it will not happen. Because we need somebody to give us that, which is what makes the experiences genuine. Otherwise, how will we experience all the 3D quota of consciousnesses that are available? So all these are 3D quotas, part of the 3D syllabus. And are we supposed to experience all the whole syllabus before we move above 3D? I believe we do. Okay. I thought it's at some point, let's say abandonment, you'll take many lives to understand abandonment and then make it as you'll get wisdom from it. Or you'll take maybe one life and then finish off abandonment. It depends on how much you want, rather, what is your nature to understand it, to get wisdom from it. Not everybody is not the same. Some people have gone through ascension in one life itself.
But the book says there are infinite number of
Consciousnesses.
consciousness.
So which means they would have planned all that in one life itself, and they would have tried everything in one life itself, through different people.
Infinite experiences in one life.
Yeah, maybe
Or
they've
maybe
had-
we are only focusing on the 8 or 10 items that we have selected, but doing it thoroughly in depth that we gain
exactly.
the
That
wisdom.
will reduce the number of number of lives.
Okay, I have another question. Like humans have energy chakras. Does Earth also have these energy chakras or similar things?
Yeah, Earth also has.
Yeah.
Earth also has, yeah.
The same 12 or
Yeah,
different?
Earth also has, but they are, I think, how they are represented is not through our human body. I mean, I've heard about it, but I don't have enough information to actually give you that. Talk about it.
Okay, so in I think one of the Devi circles, in the Devi Kriya, they mentioned that when you connect to higher self, there's energy flowing from there through the whole channel, and then it's going to Earth.
Core Earth, yeah.
Then I was thinking maybe the Earth also has a channel like us, but we haven't talked about it yet. Would it come later in this book?
No, it will not come. It will not come.
It will not come. Okay. Okay. And you mentioned about the Tattvamasi classes. Right now, the season 2 of it is going on. I looked at the season 1 videos and it seemed very similar topic to what we are discussing.
In fact, in Tattvamasi 1 video, in one of the Tattvamasi videos, she explained about those 4 steps. 4 steps: acclimation, assimilation, tapping, and anchoring.
Yeah.
Okay, at the time I listened to it, I understood it and left it. Maybe in 2000, this year, right? 2023, in 2022, she did that. 2022, 2019, 2020, 2021, 22, I think she did that. 2023, I actually got the Divine Design book in my hand by chance. And when I was going through that book only, I read it. Oh yeah, actually I've heard about this, right? And then, so it was more like that.
I also heard that video where she talks about these tapping and acclimating these things.
See, the thing is, at their level, they may not be able to read page by page, like the way we are doing. They may not do that. She'll take the gist of it and she'll explain.
But she didn't mention about the book.
No, she didn't mention about the book. I didn't know. I got to know only after reading this book.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, Manjula?
Smita, this is about food which desires which we talked before Sangeeta's question. So I know it's like I'm competing with me one day. The awareness which I had for last year is like I have improved from what I have evolved, I can say. My question is, when we leave this body, do we go with the same awareness of in whatever we've been accumulated till now?
What I can say is, whatever learnings you have, whatever fears you have, whatever patterns you have, you're going to carry to your next life.
Okay.
For example, let's say you've taken 5 core consciousnesses and you're still work in progress. You will again take it to the next body.
But at least I know that I'm a work in progress, but at least I'll go with whatever awareness I have it now with that for the next body.
Yeah, that is a process of evolution, right? So it will continue.
Okay.
For example, let's say knowledge and all that may not happen. Let's say if you're a science teacher or physics teacher and you're very good in physics and all, that may not get carried over.
Okay. So, but this
knowledge
clarity
of Earth
which
will stay on Earth, yeah.
The clarity about the food, the clarity about the practices which
clarity
we do.
about the food and all we can't say. You will have an understanding of maybe just choosing to eat natural foods, but why you're choosing natural foods you may not know. Like many babies, Many of the clients that I have, children who have parents, when they come to me, their children will be pretty much sick and all that. And then when I put them on all this natural stuff and all that, they are very open to eating all that. They're very open. They are very happy about eating fruits. They are very happy about juices and all, because they have that they have created that illness in them, so that they can come to one such rather naturally, so that they can come to a person, and that person will tell their parents what to do, and the parents will give them that kind of lifestyle.
Okay. Okay. I just want to tell about my son. He's 6 years old. Even if you give whatever thing, he pick fruits over anything. Any time of the day, he pick fruits.
See, they are all, especially children after 2012, whichever children are born, they are very, what do you say, old masters. And their behavior, the way they think is very different from, they'll break the rules. They are not very socially, they'll not listen to you. All that they will do.
Okay.
We have to learn a lot from them. They are, again, like I said, as long as they are with you, learn from them. Learn your lessons from them, not teaching them.
Okay.
Right? We always know that our reality is teaching us. We are not teaching our reality.
This I have learned it from you, that kids are from an older soul, so please do not dictate anything. This, Riya, I'm consciously practicing it at home after I heard it from you, actually. Now,
So you are calm. If you are calm and you get a proper, see, when you focus on cleaning up yourself, through your son is, let's say, throwing tantrums. Now you ask yourself, okay, he's throwing tantrums. So typically what we think, why is he throwing tantrums? How should I stop his shouting? How should I stop his yelling? What can I give him to stop his yelling? Maybe I'll give him some chocolates, biscuit, whatever. The way so that is typically how a mother thinks, usual mother. But a person who has this Atma Gyan, what they will do, they will think, he's shouting and he's throwing tantrums. What am I supposed to learn from this? And how is it disturbing me? I'm getting irritated because he's shouting. So maybe I'll choose not to get irritated. And if a person is shouting, because maybe a part of me is also crying. So how do I think about it? I'll maybe express love to this part of me who's displaying a part of me. I'll just carry him in my arms. I'm going to drop my ego and I'm going to just carry him in my arms. He may shout, he may throw, he may kick his legs, all that he will do. But maybe I'll just calmly hold him and I'll say, I love you. And then you hug him. All that if you start doing, he'll keep pushing you for some time. Then later on, he'll only come and hug you. Why? Because if we keep our energy stable, the unstable energy inside you also will stabilize. And I have practiced this with my children, and I'm able to see that level of connection that I have with them. And now my daughter is outside. Despite that, she's able to, rather the reality I get is a stable-minded child taking well-informed decisions. Rather, she's that kind of status I'm seeing, because that is my reflection.
Thank you, Smita.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other questions? Any other questions, friends?
Ma'am, can I just say one more thing, ma'am?
Mm-hmm.
Ma'am, is it really like God just created, उनके मन में आया और बस शुरू हो जाओ? देखो, like we used to say ना कि दुनिया बनाने वाले क्या तेरे मन में समाई? Why did you make all this? And like we are actually Katputlis and all.
Katputlis only, all these are I mean, from at that level, if
Katputlis
you
of
see,
HDCs.
HDCs are also Katputlis of God, no?
But what exactly came into God's mind, or that the supreme power that he just let out all his sparks and everything, and then jao khelo tum logo, whatever you want to do.
See, Khelo Tum Log means part of him only. Okay, go, my warriors, go. Like he distributed a part of himself, and all of them will connect to him only. Wahan pe somebody is in a human body leading a beggar's life means this God is actually getting that information. He's getting the experience. So how many varieties of experiences are coming together at one point? Think. Bad bhi aa raha hai, good bhi aa raha hai, higher dimensional consciousness में भी आ रहा है, lower में भी आ रहा है. So plenty. Divide and rule kind of policy.
I know what he was actually thinking. Can't even think about it. I mean, so very. Can't even get to the level of thinking as to what made him do all this. But wonderful book, ma'am.
There is
Wonderful.
every time he sends people, right? It's all a game of chance. It is all like that. He cannot, I mean, he himself is like a very curious child. He's not actually expecting anybody to do anything. He's not expecting whatever pattern or anything. He's just open.
Just expecting experience, I feel.
Yeah, just expecting experience. And how each person is going to play out each time is like infinite number of possibilities. And he's enjoying that infinite number of possibilities because wahan pe God hai na wo. Nothing will happen to him. He's enjoying. And वो बेचारा एक body 3D में suffer हो रहा है.
Suffer हो रहा है and
He doesn't even know God is enjoying. And then we are here praying to God, please, 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 and all that.
Another way of seeing it is that God is dreaming and we are part of the dream.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is
We
all
are just characters in the dream.
Yeah. We are all his mirror images. And in the mirror, in the reflection, we are all playing out.
And when it's time for him to wake up, the dream will finish and then there'll be a pralaya.
Yeah.
So anyways, one night for God is a lot of many years for us. So
see that concept is more of Brahma with Brahma is also a part of creation only. Brahma is also one of the role that is played in this whole system. But God is even beyond this experiment, no? That source is even beyond this experiment. There are so many other earths, there are so many other contained environments that are actually happening, not just Earth. Who knows how many more such creations are actually, rather such environments are being played out. Yeah, that is why they say we are just a speck in this whole thing.
So where does this Brahma fits into this picture, ma'am? Like divine design, we are just reading, but like if we look into this Shiv, Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, or like, so where do these high consciousness fit into this divine design concept, ma'am?
They are also HTCs who have transcended the birth and death cycle. They have come here, they've finished everything, and they've moved on and gone to that state. And Brahma is a role. HTCs continue to keep occupying that role.
Creators.
Maybe they're all a part of GFO alone. I have not met them, so unfortunately I can't tell them. I can't tell you. Deepti ma'am se to pooch nahi sakte. And with enlightened masters, we can't even get proper answers.
Once Ascension workshop was being done, I somehow mustered up the courage to ask Ramaraju sir, and he was like, "Ab dhyan karo, book padho, aage badho."
Go figure out, yeah. So
do more meditation. You will get
for people who meet such entities, you will not get information from them. because which is exactly why they are like that.
Ma'am, Patri sir will never give answers. He will never give answers. My aunt, she was in touch with him for many, many years, and she used to tell me, Patri sir used to get very angry, and he used to say, go and look
Go
for
to
yourself.
meditate.
Go and search within yourself. Go and look for yourself. I don't have any answers to you. What answers
Because
I can give?
realities are different, no,
Yes,
Niti.
yes.
What
Because
reality
what
he created.
answers that I will give may not be applicable to you. You have your another journey, I have my another journey. So what answers I will give, it may not be appropriate for you. So you go and look for your own answers.
Also, if I tell you something like that, let's say I may have understood your future based on your current possibilities. He will be able to see your future, but then if he reveals that future to you, it will become locked.
Yes.
That possibility will become locked in your head. Ha, Patriji told, so that's why I have to follow that path. But if he had not told you, you may have followed some other path where you may have had different experience. So that is why they don't tell.
They don't tell. They don't tell. They say, apne andar jao, go and look for your own
The
answers.
journey, and they also cannot interfere in your life, and they cannot they cannot contain your experiences. You are HDC, so he will not stop you from doing anything. From their level, everything is good and bad. Good, so that's why they'll not stop you. Chalo. Thank you, friends. Thank you so much for this class and beautiful discussions. For people on YouTube also. Thank you so much. Sonia, you had a question?
Yes, ma'am. Just an evil thought, ma'am. In this core fundamental consciousness, we are supposed to have 9 to 10 CCs, right? And our HS guides us. So many a times when we avoid few experiences, our HS will put us into that ditch. Like he'll make us many a times.
Corner. He'll put us in corner.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you mute one of those devices?
Ma'am, it's just one device, my mobile.
Acha, okay. Okay, when I talk, maybe you can mute.
Okay.
Yeah, what was your question?
Ma'am, our HS, so its job is to guide us through our CCs, right? If we are not trying to experience a CC, we are avoiding it. So it will push us towards that CC, right?
Yes.
If I get an inkling that this person is not right, he can hurt me. If murder was supposed to happen and I dodge it, so my HS will push me, go to that person, go and meet that person if I'm aware enough.
Yeah. See, the thing is, if you were supposed to escape that murder, they will help you to escape the murder. If you had to get murdered, then you will anyway go get murdered.
So HS, what will HS do, ma'am?
HS will execute your plan, that's all. They'll help you execute your plan.
To go to that person, even though I have to get murdered.
They will not say when you'll meet that person or something. How we meet that person is through law of attraction. We somehow gain that energy gets attracted to each other. For example, let's say you have a tendency to fear murderers or something. Eventually, you'll come face to face with your murderer because you eventually piled up enough energy to come in front of him.
Okay.
See, that eventually, I mean, I'm sure it's not as easy as what they've explained in the book, but I think at a very, very high level, one of these CCs will lead you to another happening of another CC. All that might happen. Like fear will eventually lead you to get murdered. Fear will lead you to eventually get robbed. And fear of one nature might get you to that kind of fear. Fear of something else might lead you to another kind of fear of abandonment will lead you to abandonment. Fear of death will lead you to dying kind of situations. So I think they'll all work with each other, and then somehow they bring such situations in front of us. And then the way we respond, we attract that. That is why they say timeline and location are not decided, but at some point it will get matched. Because they know at some point this energy will get accumulated enough for these people to come together.
Ma'am, there's a book, Archetypes of Souls. I have read that book, ma'am. Ma'am, in that it is written like it's like in the matrix of a soul, there are 7 types of basic archetypes of souls, which when we were made, then we select that this will be our matrix, this will be our archetypes, and it will always remain with us. And with that, 7 corresponding fears. Like if I choose to be an archetype of sage or scholar, so corresponding fear will be associated, and one more fear has to be associated. So could be those are the core fundamental consciousnesses one like they are talking about.
See, when you take fear, for example, how many different kinds of fears can be there, right? For a police, there is a different fear. For a scholar, there's a different fear. For a person who's in running a business, there's a different fear. So depending on the role that you chose, and in that role, there will be some other core consciousnesses that will play out. But let's say the high level core consciousnesses like fear and all that, I'm sure there are frequency gradations in that also, no? So I'm sure it'll all somehow it's not. I'm sure there can be another book only written about this possibility of how Akashic records are created. Who has written that? Diana Cooper or somebody has written that, no?
On
Akashic
Akashic
records.
record. No,
Yeah.
ma'am, Diana Cooper has not written anything on
Who has
Akashic.
written? I forgot her name. I've read the book, but partially I read the book. I forgot. It should be there somewhere.
Read the book.
I've read. So like this, I'm sure they've just given us fundamentals, but with that 1 or 2 sentences, we can't say that we've understood everything. In that, there is a lot of depth.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, this Archetype of Souls, ma'am, you read that book by Varda Hasselman.
Okay, I was talking about this. Okay, it's Maureen Saint Germain. That book is what I was talking about.
Maureen Saint Germain. Okay.
Saint Germain.
Yes, I've read about that book. I didn't read that book.
Yeah, that
I
is.
have the PDF.
Yeah, I'd read that book long back, but then there were so many instructions which I thought, okay, it's too boring to practice all that meditation, this, that. I just left it.
When meditations attract me, I'll try that. Ma'am, but do read that book, Archetypes of Soul. It's a beautiful book.
Sure. If it calls me, I'll read it.
But you the PDF.
You can send it. Usually what happens, some books call, I feel more like a calling. There's some inner calling for the book. So I think there is one book that is calling me, but it's a huge book. I'll have to first see when to start it and when it will end.
Ma'am, which one?
Thinking and Destiny.
Oh, Thinking and even I'm planning to get that book. Like I have its PDF, but it is 1023 pages, so it's better to purchase rather than get it printed out. I have the PDF. Do you want that PDF, ma'am?
I have.
Ma'am, it's a beautiful book.
Yeah, that book is calling me also.
Huh?
That book is calling me also, ma'am.
3 people.
In Parivartan series by PMC, Kajal Teri ma'am had given, she had explained about this book also.
Acha, okay.
In Parivartan series, yes.
Okay.
When I was working on some, I don't know, on some topic, this book came in front of me. I was Googling and this book came in front of me. And coincidentally, in Shambhala, Patriji also spoke about it.
He called this book the Bible of PSSM.
PSSM, yeah.
Ma'am, but there are not many books under like same writer has written so many books. Thinking and Destiny. I guess this is the second part or third part, which I'll share the pic in the group. Could be like it's about the souls, how like when accidents happen, what is the backstory, soul story in the spirit world, how we plan and what
by
is the
Robert
reason.
Schwartz, Your Soul's Plan. Your Soul's Plan by Robert Schwartz is good.
No, about this Destiny and Thinking and Destiny, that book I'm talking about.
In that also there are these topics.
Yes, there are 10 books of under the same topic, and I'll share, ma'am.
Thank you. Chalo guys, take care. Bye. Thank you
Thank you,
for
ma'am.
this Zoom session, Anita's Zoom session, and all of you for having such a healthy discussion. So beautiful it was.